let go.
Here's some MC. As quick as it is violent. I teach in the Valley of the Sun. In the fancy part of town. I can't afford to live there. We have a new gate-to-gate cell phone policy where students cannot have their phones out at all. Anywhere. For any reason. If I see a phone. As a teacher, I am authorized to commandeer the phone until security comes to pick it up. Fair enough. I've decided way ahead of time that I wouldn't touch a phone unless I needed to. Especially during the initial confrontation. I simply say, "Schmoopy pie. Please place your phone on the gray table adjacent my desk," and then I put a sticky note on it. I even make sure I only touch the phone through the sticky note as I affix it with their name on it. I then call security who picks it up. This hasn't been an issue all year. The kids are pretty good about it. But not this time. As our security guard, Dave, enters the room, he seems to not be able to find this miracle hot pink sticky note affixed phone. So I reach for the phone to hand it to him. As I grab the phone to hand it the 30 inches until it reaches Dave's hand, the student runs up like the Bionic Man and places his hand on his phone also, grasping tightly. I don't know why I hold on, but I do. Instinct maybe. Anyway, he demands that I let go. Let it fucking go. And the second he emphasizes that word, I let go while he pulls as hard as he can. The phone flies across the room and breaks the school window, as well as itself. Both items are shattered beyond recognition. The fallout is just starting to fall. But the kid was, "What the fuck did you throw my phone for?" Crying and lying at the same time. Wonderful. I said back in the heat of the moment, "Hey man, you told me to let it go." I did. This is on you, my guy. Quote. Dave couldn't agree more. His parents? Probably could agree a little less. Administration was surprisingly on my side about this. The parents did contact administration about paying to replace the phone, but they flat out denied it. They said that the student committed a bare minimum of 2 acts that led to his phone being destroyed. He 1. Had his phone out, and 2. Clawed a teacher in the process of grabbing his phone he already relinquished to his care. And finally 3. Destroyed a window. The fact that Dave was there to witness all this was very helpful in making sure the ultimate MC being applied had only negative consequences for the culprit. I'll never understand why he, after 10 minutes of the phone just sitting there, did he decide to all of a sudden come for it. TLD, or a student demands I let go of his phone. Mayhem ensues. Slight edit. Eddie Deason insisted I change bear to bear, as the grammatical error was causing him to lose what little sleep he already has been receiving. Update. Administration has decided to pay for a new phone for this kid now. This was heard in the rumor mill. But before I had a chance to really get angry about it, admin told me it wouldn't be coming out of my check for any reason, as they are going after the student for the damage to the window. This has now transmogrified into a new MC. I was the original holder of the phone, so it's understood that I would make an attempt to hold it. But the student made the choice to violently pull the phone and damage the window. I don't know how they decided, but it was decided they would go after the parents in this instance for the damage to the window, which was $1,678. Dave, the security guard, told me about this amount. So an iPhone 12 costs what, $750? Yeah, they shouldn't have pressed this issue. Without getting into the, is it reasonable to take phones away? Here's a guess about why he got weird. PR0N or sexting or something on the phone and not locked. He knew you weren't gonna look at it. Dave, not so much. So he suddenly realized the risk he was facing, and used typical teenage judgment. He probably thought that the phone wouldn't be handed in to security. He may have thought that you'd leave it sitting there, but give it back to him with just a warning. The appearance of Dave made him realize that his phone would be confiscated. So he tried to prevent that happening.
Bare minimum.
When I was in high school, they'd have to take the book I was reading away because cell phones hadn't been invented yet. You're a teacher and you don't know the difference between there and there. Poor kids. Before I retired, I asked my principal if I could confiscate a cell phone like this until class was over. He said I could, but that if a student complained that their cell phone was broken when they got it back, I'd have to pay for a replacement. I'm glad I'm retired. He realized he had blackmail info on it stored in an easily accessible way. Worked for a bank in the back office. Absolutely no phones allowed. They must be inside your designated locker except during break. If you were expecting an urgent call, you could leave your phone with the head of section. I am sure that similar no phones rule exists in many jobs. You did the least a bear could do. The bare minimum. I hope you're not the English teacher. Committed a bare minimum. Sure hope you don't teach English. The student committed a bare minimum of 2 acts. Excuse me. Raises hand without phone in it. Teacher? What kind of a minimum was that you wrote? Students cannot have their phones out at all. Students cannot have. Fine. Phones out at all. Fine. In between. There is a problem. Can you think of another word that might solve the problem? I am authorized to commandeer the phone. Well, sort of. This one is arguable, but it still is not quite the right word. Commandeer connotes that you intend to take it from its owner so as to use it for your own purposes. I think you probably really mean confiscate. Now, what subjects do you teach? Wait, are you a teacher, or a worker at Wendy's? As a teacher, it's their phone, not their phone. You should know better. I think I know why he waited for 10 minutes. He was probably waiting so you would ease your guard or forgot about it after a while, then he could take it. If he thought you were not in your room. If he knew you were there, then I have no clue. Yeah, it's a part of this culture's weird perception of children as not real, authentic people so that they can just take their possessions away. Send the kid to detention or whatever. That's fine. But no, we must demonstrate that they have no control over even their possessions and that they can be stolen at the slightest pretext. Students can't have their phones. Seriously? You're a teacher and don't know the difference between there, and probably there. And it's a bare minimum. Not a bare minimum. I hope you don't teach English. The Eddie Deason? In an era of rampant school shootings, it's frankly amazing to me that any school takes away kids' phones. $1,678 $1,678 No. You see, that $sign before the number means you say dollars after the number. You don't put the word dollars after the number. 2. I thought it would be good to let you know about this basic grade school piece of grammar, since you are a teacher. Also, shame on your school's administrators for buying the ill-behaved brat a new phone.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.